I knew I was fucked.
It's funny you mentioned Amir though, because I actually produced vocals on one of their. I think it was called like. It was either Speaker of the Dead or the record before or after. It was the weirdest experience because the at the time they were on Sumerian Records. I don't know if they still are. And
They were on Victory and Sharptone.
right now.
Well, they've actually never been on Sumerian, but they were managed by Sean Keith from Sumerian for a long time.
Okay, then that's what it was. Because Ash Avildsen and Sean hit me up. It was like around the time that I had just left Periphery, and people were kind of, passing my name around as a vocal producer, and they hit me up to produce the vocals for one of their records.
Do you think it was Slave to the Game? Or Speaker of the Dead?
I think it was Speaker. I'd have to hear the songs, because the funny thing that I was going to say about it was that when they came in to record the vocals, I think his name was Frankie, the vocalist.
Frankie Palmieri?
Yeah, Frankie Palmieri.
Yeah, he was a great guy, super nice, and really, really fucking good as a vocalist, and really good at recording. The weirdest part about it was that I don't think he actually wrote any of the lyrics before. Like, I think he freestyled the lyrics. And
Whoa.
Sean and Ash were there the whole time, kind of directing it and like just really psyched, and they were really nice, and it was a cool experience. But it was one of the first records I produced vocals on, because I did it in my studio apartment at the time in Sherman. I think it was Sherman Oaks, about 15 minutes away from here. And yeah, he just freestyled the vocals mostly, and it turned out really good. And I think they might have retracked some of it later on, but I'm pretty sure a lot of what I did, production wise, was kept. And I don't know if I was credited for it, but I'm not lying. I promise it happened.
So I'm going through their discography right now. I'm doing some research, some production research here.
Yeah, it might be on All Music. I think I was credited as vocal engineer or something.
So was it Eternal Enemies? That came out after Speaker of the Dead.
But he said you're talking around like 08, 09, right?
It would have been at least 09, because that was when I moved to LA.
Felony was the album that came out in 09.
But it might have been after.
Right.
No, but I moved here in 09, and I don't think I did those vocals until 2009 or 2010. So probably would have been the record after.
Yeah, it was probably Speaker of the Dead then.
Yeah,
that's fucking sick.
That's
so
dope,
did Frankie come into the studio and pen and pad it, or did he literally go into the vocal booth like Jay-Z and just freestyle off his top of his head?
I think it was a combination. Again, like whatever work was done before they got to my place, I can't say, but Ash and Sean were kind of assuming the producer role in that, and I feel like they just kind of wanted me to get the tracks down and edited and stuff, and so yeah, I think he might have written some of it before, but the vibe in the room was like, Ash was like, no, do this differently. Wait, how about this here? Switch this and that, and so it kind of really felt like it was more of a freestyle kind of situation, but. I've never seen anything like that before, and maybe that's because I've never worked in hip hop, and I know that that's more of a thing that's prevalent in hip hop.
I've thrown up on stage a few times.
Yes.
But in the middle of a song and shit. Like once was I was really fucking hungover, like years ago. This was like 2010. I think we were on a tour with Black Dahlia Murder in Europe.
Yes.
It was our first tour. Like we were all like fucking 20 years old. So first tour, you're on a tour bus, you go fucking loopy, don't you? Like there's beer everywhere. So I'd overdone it the night before, was fucking rough as a bear's ass. We're playing this show, and halfway through a song, I do this like really big, like guttural, and like my stomach, I can feel my stomach churning. And then all like, when you get all saliva like going down the inside of your thing, and then I just ran behind Lynn's drum kit while they're still playing the song, and just started throwing up everywhere. Then had to go back on stage and just carry on and finish the set while all my throat's burning because of all the sick. It was fucking grim. And another time I threw up on stage was because Lynn farted. True story.
Oh.
True story. It was that bad.
I was about to call you
I
a
have to
champion
die
for
after
fucking
going
puking
off
on
the floor.
stage. But I don't know about now, dude. Oh no. Oh no.
Dude.
Farted. Wow. Wow.
Oh, that's
Oh shit.
that's
Oh
fucking
no.
ugly.
Are you sure he didn't shit himself? Fuck.
No, just a fart, like just a mere fart.
Anybody else impacted by the fart or just you? You're the only
I think
casualty?
Sean smelled it and was like,
Okay.
"That's absolutely horrendous." But yeah, on me it was just like, no, like
Oh
throwing up.
man.
You've seen me this week denounce bands like Norma Jean and The Ghost Inside. Bands I consider to be favorites and bands that were always on my playlist on my iPhone. I personally can no longer listen to them in any form or fashion the same way, knowing what they've said and what they've done. There's no excuse at all for having those statements said. There's no excuse for calling your bus driver the N-word. There's no excuse to come out and say you don't support Black Lives Matter. And you're going to have to answer to fans when you, if you're ever
To
lucky
your
to
peers,
tour again.
hopefully. To your peers.
Oh yeah,
to
other
the people
bands
you tour with.
You
The
think
people
other
that pay
bands
you.
are gonna want to take these motherfuckers on tour when they say ignorant shit like that? Like, I'm a driver. I drive bands on tour. You called a bus driver the N-word? Like, how? The quote was, "Now I have to go pay the N-word," as if paying the man his earned wage is a struggle or a burden to you. And that's something I can never stand from bands. So that one like hit me personally, that I don't need to be black to be offended by that. Like, you didn't respect that man, and that's why you called him that word. And to be a band that's looked at as like woke and supposed to be, I mean, they just went through a horrible tragedy. The Ghost Inside, like, they almost died. Their bus driver died. They lost limbs. They lost fingers, and the whole experience didn't humble you up. I mean, I couldn't be more disappointed in a band like that, or someone like Norma Jean. Bands that are supposed to have morals, like, this would be one thing if it came from some stupid party band, but these are bands that, like, not only us, but younger people look up to, and you have failed them. You have fucking failed them. I expect people like Jim Riley from The Ghost Inside, Corey Brandon from Norma Jean, and that piece of shit Lee Runestad that used to be in I Prevail. I expect all of you to apologize and atone for this shit. Atone for your sins. Because this shit is inexcusable. The Ghost Inside could go make 1,000 woke records. It's not going to change the fact that your bass player called your bus driver the N-word. Norma Jean could go make 1,000 woke records and go and be a Christian band again and resurrect the entire Solid State 2007 lineup. It's not going to matter at fucking all, because you've already come out and you've already put your foot in your mouth and said all the ignorant shit you did. I don't respect these people anymore. I use the word canceled, and it has a really bad connotation to it, so I need to choose my words more carefully. So I'm just going to say bands like The Ghost Inside and Norma Jean are dead to me. Dead to me. Because I don't tolerate that shit. My friends don't tolerate that shit. My family doesn't tolerate that shit. Everyone I've ever toured with and worked with would not tolerate that shit. I mean, how ignorant do you have to be? How secluded in a white bubble do you have to be to think it's okay to call your bus driver the N-word? I assure you, I will be at the Ghost Inside show, not to support, not to listen to your fucking hardcore music, but to address Jim Riley to his fucking face. Because what's he gonna say? How fast is he gonna backpedal? How quick is he gonna jump behind a barricade or go in his bus? You're gonna have to answer to people like me, people that have nothing to lose, that will punch you in the fucking face just to get clout with the rest of the touring industry, because we don't fucking like you, and we don't like what you said. You can say sorry 1,000 times. Nothing's going to explain or excuse that shit. That's just one case that we know he said it. If you're that comfortable to say it to someone on your bus, like, oh, I gotta go pay my N-word bus driver, then you've probably said it in a lot of forms. And the fucked up part, I probably know who that driver is. And god damn it, none of those people deserve to be called that shit.